We've got, anytime you have a typhoon making landfall, obviously it's deadly, it's extremely dangerous. We've got two storms that will give us a total of 5 landfalls. So we've already had one. Let's go back. Sarika, as it makes its way from Guam, where they typically develop and they start to grow in strength, this one made landfall as Category 4. A little bit of a surprise. We knew the track would be in the Luzon area, north of Manila, just South Baguio, but getting to Category 4 strength is a little concerning. There was 200,000 without power at one time, and of course they've got another one on the way, but let's talk about Sarika. You may have heard the word Karen. In the Philippines, Pagas is their own national weather department. They have their own list of names, but Sarika is known to Karen to them. But now we're in the South China Sea. Sarika's going to have a second landfall just hours away, and then a third in Vietnam. Haima here is even stronger. I mean, this is going to be a super typhoon, and it's almost going to make the same kind of landfall in the same area of Luzon. But let's talk about Sarika right now. Category 1, I think we're just about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from landfall, south of Haiku. A couple million people live there. They're going to be in a quadrant where the winds are the strongest. Then in about 24 hours, we'll have landfall in northern Vietnam, really close to the border of southern China. This could be a big rainmaker. The last thing we want to see is any rainfall down here in central Vietnam. And here's the reason. Over the weekend, we had a little depression, and the remnants of that, it wasn't even a major storm moved in, but look what it did. 4 central provinces have been flooded. The main north and south corridor for goods, for water and food have been cut off. They lost 25 people in this flooding. 30,000 homes are submerged. I mean, this is almost a natural disaster for these 4 provinces that have seen too much rain, and that was just a depression. The good news is we come back and we're going to be able to see that the amount of rainfall stays out of central Vietnam, but it's going to really drench Hainan. This is the southern province of China into northern Vietnam. Hanoi, you're going to be on the edge, so hopefully we'll be all right. All right, now we got our other storm, a landfall here Friday near Hong Kong. So again, I think tomorrow night around midnight is where the folks in Luzon, again, are going to be watching Haima move in here. This is going to be a Category 4. Well, it is a Category 4. It's going to be a super typhoon. It's got a well-defined eye. I think the landfall is going to be slightly north of where the other landfall was just days ago. So again, you got today and you've got tomorrow to prepare for this. Again, remember, there's still thousands without power here. And now we're going to be watching Hong Kong. We never thought Hong Kong was going to see a direct hit, but we're getting in the cone of uncertainty. So to the east and northeast, this would be a Friday afternoon, possibly Friday evening event. But again, we're going to have to watch that in the days ahead. After the 24-hour, in between 24 and 48 is where we believe it's going to be at super typhoon status. The last thing that we're going to want to see. But again, a well-defined eye. Evacuations will take place again, not just on the coastline, but in the high terrain where the villages need to leave for the threat of landslides. But it's going to drop a lot of rain. Maybe not as much. We already saw 250 with the last storm, and that was enough to cause flooding. But look at Hong Kong just to the east. 5-day totals want to give us over 250 to 300 millimeters. So 2 storms, 5 landfalls. Not a good week.